headed into the last part of our journey together. And I'd love to invite Joshua Greene, who is here. He teaches yoga philosophy at the university level, and he also wrote a wonderful biography by George Harrison called Here Comes the Sun. And he's going to inspire us about how the yoga community can really work together, come together at this extraordinary juncture. So please, if you can raise our hands to the heart.
Good evening. Gaura Vani was very kind and invited me down to speak just a few words to you this evening. And I'm thrilled to be the token Jewish intellectual here. It sure is nice to be singing and dancing again. There's some moves here tonight I haven't seen since the 60s. Not making you get a hula hoop over there, someone's wearing a beetle wig. It's fantastic. So please all, let's just begin by, join me if you will, for chanting the mantra for the new age. Thank you. We're here for an evening of prayer and chanting and sacred music. Boy, that's a tough act to put together in Washington, D.C. If you know anybody in government, I mean, talk about aura retentive. I mean, it's very hard to put this over in a place like Washington, and yet it's very important. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that we are not the body or the mind. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us that we are the Atma, the soul, and that God dwells with us in our hearts. God is another problematic word. I mean, if that's uncomfortable for you, you're welcome to substitute something else. Higher wisdom, Radha, Krishna, the goddess, the inner Ringo, your own personal Obama, whatever you like, just put that in there. And but why is yoga important just now? It's important because yoga reminds us that all life is divine. And an administration that does not recognize the divinity of all life is destined to fail. As we have seen over the past many years, a government that does not honor the God-given rights of all people to due process of law makes a mockery of that divinity within all creatures. Yoga philosophy is also important just now because yoga speaks to character. Character is in very short supply. If you trace the recession back a few years to the scandals of Arthur Anderson and Enron and so on, what we saw was a series of laws called Sarbanes-Oxley, which was in theory supposed to regulate malicious business practice with a series of oversights and accountability. It didn't work. What it did, in effect, was to make white-collar criminals more cunning about how to circumvent legislation. So laws alone do not reform human character. They do not change the heart. That's where the yoga comes in. That's where the chanting comes in. That's where an evening like this comes in. The Bhagavad Gita also tells us, Raja Vidya Raja Guyam, this verse from the 7th chapter of the Gita, says that this knowledge of the soul and God in the heart is Raja Vidya, the king of knowledge. It can also be translated as the yoga of kings. Practice of government leaders. So real yoga on its deep level, is meant to inform good governance by fostering a vision of all people, all life as divine. So our message to President-elect Obama on the eve of this inauguration here from this community is, first of all, please understand we do not hold you to be the avatar for the age of Kali. We do thank you for having brought hope and inspiration back into our lives. And we from the yoga world would like to do our share to help you bring the change that you wish to see. Yoga has a lot to offer. Yoga can offer something about the peace process. That peace begins by recognizing the divine in all beings, human and animal. Yoga has something to say about climate change and environment, that the earth herself is sacred and deserving of our respect. And yoga has something to say about recession, that we can foster a higher way of thinking and a simpler way of living, very economical and very satisfying. In fact, I don't think there's any limit to the contribution that we here tonight can make if we practice our yoga off the mat. So we can be thankful that Gaura, Vani, and all these wonderful people who have come together have made this evening such a wonderful success. It is a true honor to be in such heartfelt company. Thank you.